Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the week of November 21st. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you. Now, I do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you. Do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for future updates from me. Your likes, comments, shares really do help the channel grow and are very much appreciated here on YouTube. And as always, all of the decks that I use on my channel are linked in the description below this video. Okay. Taurus. Let's see what we have here. All right. And I think that looks just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom. You have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is really a card that is associated with some type of long-term growth in life. Typically, it's about like your long-term investments. So this one in particular is heavily associated with things like retirement accounts. You can think of this bush here as a retirement account because this person has spent a long time growing these pentacles here, growing the bush that provides the pentacles. You could also think of it as like real estate, right? Because these are bigger, longer term investments, not something that you would liquidate within a month, right? That you would buy and then liquidate in a month. This is something bigger, Taurus. But along with that, it's the contemplation of what to do with those assets or what to do with this long-term situation. If it's not about financial assets, it's about a long-term situation. It's the contemplation here, as you see this person doing, around how to approach or what to do with this long-term situation. So in some respects, it could be like, okay, I've been in a relationship with this person for, I don't know, 3 years. Do we move in together? Or we've been living together for 3 years. Is it time to take this to the next level, right? Because it can be just like a long-term situation in your life. Some of you certainly could be thinking about that. There's definitely a new beginning with a person here showing up in the cards in the reading. We'll talk about that more as we go along, and that might be for some of you and not for all of you. But yeah. So in the overall situation here, you do have the Six of Cups. So Six of Cups refers to memories of the past or memories of love. This is something that feels familiar to you. Okay, this is the feeling maybe even of being home. These kids are in the family home on the illustration here, right? They're in the family home and they're kind of reminiscing on good times. Or you could say that this is like a window into a vision that you have where you are reminiscing, a window into your past here. Maybe when, hopefully that makes sense. Like you reminiscing on some sort of old memory or a window into the past for you here with the Six of Cups. It also, though, on a different level might say, stay in the present moment and stay now, because this person here on the card is, I don't know if you noticed, but they are stopping to smell the roses here. So on one hand, it can also say like, be here, be now, right? And, enjoy what you have now. And so this could certainly be the case. I do think that some of you, if you are here for relationship stuff, there's like a deep past life connection that you have to this person. And I will say, like, I don't think that this is new love, okay? I think that there's potentially a new start with somebody that you are already in a relationship with showing up. And I do think if you're here in a relationship reading or a romance reading here, this is like a big... this is like a very important thing that you're dealing with right now, because you're so invested in this other person. I think that this is probably also true if you're here for finances, like, or if you're here for work, like you're invested in a project or you're invested in something, right? And so it's not easy to get yourself out of something if you really want to get yourself out of something. I don't see you getting out of something. I see you going deeper into something here. In the past, you have the Five of Pentacles, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the Eight of Wands. So the Five of Pentacles is in the upper row. To me, this would suggest that you are stuck in your mind or you're stuck in your thoughts here. All right, these people here are kind of feeling left out or feeling left out in the cold, feeling left out in some ways. And this upper row is the row of your thoughts. So when you get it up there, it is maybe even scarcity mindset, okay? I don't see loss on the board. In fact, I see gain here, or at least a seed that's being planted here with the Ace of Pentacles and also the Seven of Pentacles, okay? So I think that this is more at the mental level. It's also behind you, as this is in the past here. So do keep that in mind. Now you have this Wheel of Fortune, which the Wheel of Fortune is your destiny. It is a card of your destiny. It says that there is change there's been change here for you, okay? Because this is in the past. It is a big change in one's life. It's typically a very good change. Different than the change that's brought forward with the Death card. It's more like a change in your destiny or a change in your path, so to speak. It's less about a clearing. The Death card is more about like a clearing, and that's how the change sort of arrives. And the Wheel of Fortune is more about like, okay, here's an opportunity. The wheel has spun in your direction. Will you take it? That's more of like the change. See where this opportunity may take you. And obviously that represents a change. You have this Eight of Wands here as well, which is about things moving along. Now, there's been some destined or fated situation here in the past with the Eight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Looks very good for you. The Eight of Wands is a major card of, it could represent that there's good news in your life that's coming in, or there's been something that has accelerated here. It's the feeling of being unstuck as well in one's life. And so it can say like clear skies ahead type of deal. In the current situation, you have the Five of Swords, you have the Six of Cups, and you have the Emperor here. So, Six of Cups, like I said, referring to the past in one's life, and maybe just like the feeling of home, of what is familiar. The Emperor, this can be the father archetype, interestingly enough. Some of you may be like connecting with your father, reuniting, reconnecting with your father, or thinking about some lesson learned, maybe from a family member, maybe your father specifically. Some of you could resonate with that. If it's not about your father, which it won't be for everybody, the Emperor is somebody who's extremely successful in business, right? And remember, I don't attach gender to my cards here. And so you could be the Emperor, you could be the Page of Cups, you could be anybody in the readings. These are just energies. And so when you look at the Emperor, this is somebody who's extremely successful in business, right? This is big boss energy. This is leveling up in one's life, specifically in your career life. And your ability to sort of conquer. It's sort of like a conquering energy as well. So I do feel like, you've had this opportunity here to go down a new path. It was kind of put forward to you very quickly with the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Wands. And I will say that some of you here are maybe wanting to be present and allow yourself to investigate what's here, with the Six of Cups. And the Emperor would be somebody who really takes a stern look or a hard look at something, like looks at all the facts, right, and like makes sure that the numbers work out, makes sure that the ROI is good, stuff like that, right? Like the Emperor would make sure of all of that. And lastly, here you have this Five of Swords. So we have these double fives here in the upper row. Five of Pentacles, Five Swords here. So Five Swords is about a loss, potentially, or defeat. Again, it's at the mental level, okay? So to keep that in mind. And the Five of Swords would suggest that you are getting stronger as a result of some sort of challenge, loss, or defeat that's been put forward for you. It's a totally recoverable loss. The Five of Swords is not a huge deal from my perspective. In the future, you have the Six of Pentacles, you have the Page of Cups, and you have the Ace of Pentacles here. So, Six of Pentacles is about karma, and kind of like karma in terms of your material situation, a kind of balancing out in your material situation. You can see here that this person is holding the scale, and there's a great deal of, in one hand, there's like retrieval. There's retrieval or something coming back to you or being returned to you with the Six of Pentacles. Because it's the idea that, like, if you've given a whole lot, for example, just giving you an example here. If you've put in a ton of hours and you've been at a company for a long time, it can be a sign that you will be getting promoted or you'll be getting a job raise, because it's like retrieval, right? Or it's like reciprocation, right? Because something is coming back to you after you having given, after you have given to a situation, a person, or whatever, right? It can also be like quite literally you loaned money out and now you're getting that back. That is also one of the things, but that comes forward with the Six of Pentacles here as well. Maybe your father loaned you money or you loaned your father money, and there's some money being exchanged back and forth here. This could certainly be, that's a possibility. Maybe that's it for some of you, but that won't be everything here, but that won't be for everybody here. But yeah, that's maybe a possibility. Now going back to, okay, and let me just close out this career storyline here, which is, you had this big kind of fated or destined opportunity here. I think some of you have been thinking about, what does this look like for me? Will I take it? So forth and so on. And, I think with the Six of Pentacles, this is sort of like the universe's gift to you. This is sort of like the universe returning something to you. So that's something I wanted to bring in as well. And then in the relationship energy here, Page of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, there is a new start with somebody. I don't think this person is new, okay? I think there's like an update to the relationship. So I don't know, like I said at the beginning of this reading, was like maybe you're now moving in with each other or whatever. Like there's like a new beginning or a new start in this relationship here. So, and I do think that this person is pretty long-term here with the Seven of Pentacles and the Emperor as well. So yeah, you definitely like to see that. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the Kipper cards. All right. All right, so you have Mature Man, Courtship, Great Fortune, and Lovers. They definitely want you, okay? Like they want you long-term. They want to get married. They want to do the whole thing. They want to do the whole thing, want to get married, buy a house together, get a dog, like have babies, do the whole thing. They want to do the whole thing, that is definitely showing up here in the cards. And so, this might take some time because this is showing up as a future thing, but with Courtship, Great Fortune, Lovers, and this person being mature, you both being mature, like that's certainly showing up in the cards. From a career perspective here, the Great Fortune is a very positive card. It's the best card to get in the Kipper. It's sort of like the Sun card, because for me the Sun card is the best card to get in the tarot, but the Great Fortune says that there's good fortune, good times, good vibes, good energy for you available. Specifically, the Kipper is very, very closely associated with like, it is a fortune-telling deck. It is a classic fortune-telling deck. And so it's more so about your, obviously your fortune, duh. But this is like something, if you look at the definition of the Great Fortune card in the Kipper deck, it can say it's typically around like your money situation or your work situation. But there are many kind of variants of Great Fortune as well. Like finding a long-term marriage partner is Great Fortune, right? Like for sure. So let's go ahead and let's start to clarify. You have the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Pentacles, and there's the Death card. You have the Death card. So definite change has been underway for you, like 100%, with the Wheel of Fortune, the Death card, and the Eight of Wands. This is a good change. This is a good thing, especially because you have this Ten of Pentacles, which I love, is clarifying the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so replace any thoughts of, I don't have enough, I don't deserve this, I'm unworthy, I'll never have enough. Replace all of those thoughts with thoughts of abundance, okay? As you have the Ten of Pentacles here clarifying the Five of Pentacles, okay? It's like the universe is like, no. Throw all of those thoughts out and bring in the positivity, bring in the abundant thinking here, because that is, that could really provide you with some nice results in your life. The Queen of Pentacles, somebody who's highly practical, extremely practical. They're very good with money, very good with budgeting, planning, saving for a rainy day, preparing for what's to come, preparing for what's next, all of that, right? And these are all good things, So yeah, let's see what else we have. You have the King of Wands, Six of Swords, and the Four of Wands. So the King of Wands is somebody who is always interested in following their passions in their career. This is a classic entrepreneur. And, for some of you here, this might be like on the table. If you're not here for love at all, this could certainly be on the table, because there's been this like destined, fated, divinely inspired, divinely guided opportunity here in the past with the Death card, the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Wands, now the Ten of Pentacles coming in. And the King of Wands is somebody who will absolutely take bull by the horns and go for it. Like really go for it. Take life by the reins and really ride the train of their destiny. Like that is absolutely what the King of Wands would do. For them, they'll never be in a dead-end job. And, I think some of you can really resonate with that. This does mean that you have to leave something. And I think that's why the Five of Swords with the Six of Swords is here. And the Six of Cups, by the way, as well, which the Six of Cups, like I said, is something familiar. Might be time for you to leave something that's familiar. The Six of Swords people are going through a transition. They are hopping off this boat here. They are going to a new place. Okay, they are guided forward. And they're leaving the challenge of the Five of Swords, which you have here. They're sailing away from that. And they're embarking on something new, which you are. You do have 666 here as well. Six of Swords, Six of Cups, Six of Pentacles. That is actually not a bad number, despite what the mainstream, whatever would say. It's seen in media all of the time. Like, you probably think that's like a bad number, but that 666 is actually a number of transformation. And that is certainly on the board here, all over the place. It's actually not a negative number. 616, that's a different story. You can look that up if you want. But you have the Four of Wands, or not, whatever. You have the Four of Wands, which is another card that indicates marriage. Okay, so that is definitely here on the table for some of you. In the future, you have the Two of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Swords, and you have the Ace of Wands. So here it is. King of Wands, Ace of Wands, that is my self-employment combination. Throw in the Great Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Wands. And you have a recipe for a really nice passion project. That is the spark of life. That is a big opportunity for you to really go for it. Ten of Swords, clearly something's ending, but it's because you're getting something much better as a result. There's a new beginning. And the Two of Pentacles here, you're weighing your options and you're charting your course forward. You're charting your path forward. And that feels exciting, Taurus. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. And I will see you in the next reading.